Hi everyone. So I'm going to show you today how to use our new CPAWS logging plan viewer. So the purpose of this logging plan viewer is to help you view past, present, and future logging plans in southern Alberta. And the viewer provides information about those plans in the context of other landscape values, things like conservation features or recreation trails. So to access the viewer, you can go to our website at cpaws-southernalberta.org, and you can go to the sustainable forestry section of our website under conservation. And you'll see there's an option for the logging plan viewer. So if you click on that, it will bring you to this new page, and there'll be this pop-up here which has some important information. So I'm just going to mention one thing here which is really important to keep in mind. Present and future logging plan details are based on the latest available public information that we have, but it's really important to remember that these plans can and often do change without notice. But with that in mind, let's take a look at the map. So we can click OK and get to the map itself. Now I'm accessing this map on a desktop computer, but it works equally well on mobile. And the layout may look a little bit different on mobile, but it's broadly the same. So to navigate the map, you can use typical methods. With a mouse, you can move, pan, and zoom with the scroll wheel. On mobile, you would do that with the same gestures that you would use in other mapping apps. You can also use the bookmarks button, which is in the bottom right here, to quickly navigate to areas that have current logging plans. For example, we might be interested in Allison Creek in the Crow's Nest Pass, so we can click on Allison Creek and it will pan and zoom us into that area. So before we get started looking at the data, it's a good idea to open up the legend so we can see what the different colors and symbols mean. And to do this, you can go to this layers button in the top right, click on that, and you'll see there's two tabs, and we can go to the legend tab. On the legend tab, you'll see that there's information about what the different colors and symbols represent. This will update when you turn on and off different layers, different information, and I'll come back to that shortly. So here right now on the map, we can see some historical logging areas, which are in the orange to brown colors, and we can see some planned logging areas, which are in yellow and in red. And we can click on features like these blocks for different information. So if I click on this one here, it will tell us a little bit about what this planned logging area is. It's planned for 2026 and into 27, and it's at Allison Creek, and it's around 48 hectares in size. So we can click on any feature that we see on the map for additional information about it. Next, I'll show you how to turn on and off different layers. So if we go back to our layers button in the top right, and this time instead of going to the legend tab, we go to the layer tab. Here we can turn on and off different layers. So for example, I might be interested to see what the recreation trails in this area look like. So I can click on this little I button to turn that layer on, and then we'll be able to see in red these different recreation trails that are mapped in the area. And if we zoom right in, we'll be able to see the names on those trails as well. And you can turn on and off all sorts of different layers here to get different information. For example, you might be interested in conservation features like the East Slopes land use zones. So we can turn on those and see where these areas of prime protection in the East Slopes land use zones are. Next, I'm just going to show you how to change the background of the map. This can be a useful additional element, and this is with the button that's just below the Layers tab here. So if we click on this one, it will bring up the options for different base maps. So this is the background map. And the most useful of these is the one we have on right now, and imagery. So if we go to imagery, we'll actually see satellites information instead of the topographic map. And this is really nice if you want to see what the landscape actually looks like from a satellite image. So you'll find that satellite imagery has different dates depending on where you are. And so it might not always be updated to the same time point. So just keep that in mind with the satellite imagery. And then finally, I just want to point out the Get Involved page over on the right-hand side. This has lots of useful links to help you engage on forestry plans. And it also has contact details for us. So if you do have anything that you want more information about, feel free to get in touch with us and ask us any questions that you have. Thanks.